Hello, everyone, my family, my friends, my colleagues. This is Richard Solomon, and this will be the third episode in our series on enhancing human relationships through the fourth R, the relationship skills. As we said in a previous exercise, we all know the three R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, but the fourth R refers to relating. Relating. Terribly important in this day and age. And in terms of relating, we're going to be sharing 6 optimal ways today of giving constructive negative feedback. Now, in this episode and all the episodes, this series is a creation of my life partner, Jackie Saunders, and myself, so we take full responsibility for its contents. The purpose of this series is to provide the viewers with the pro-social or relationship skills that facilitate and deepen human communication among all people: students, peers, teachers, parents, seniors, singles, marrieds, couples who are not married, even business folks at home, at work, and in other social settings. Now, in the previous episode, episode 2, we talked about the 6 don'ts and 1 do to facilitate human communication and facilitate good relationships. Those 6 don'ts were commands, name-calling, put-downs, faulty accusations, demeaning questions, and sarcasm. And the 1 do was how to give and to receive constructive negative feedback. Constructive negative feedback is a 2-part process. You state the feeling, such as, I don't appreciate, or I don't like. You state the behavior. When you put me down, when you command me, when you ask me demeaning questions, when you use faulty accusations, etc. But today we're going to talk about the optimal ways to give constructive negative feedback. When you give constructive positive feedback, your partner and the people you work with will appreciate that because you're telling them what they do that you like. But when you're giving constructive negative feedback, you need to do it with a certain degree of kindness, sympathy, and compassion. And we're going to go over 6 optimal ways to give constructive negative feedback to others. Now, I have this handout over here. I hope you can read it. And this explains the best way to give constructive negative feedback. So let's go over it. Number 1. You should give constructive negative feedback when someone deserves it, but you should ask them for permission. Is this a good time for me to give you the feedback? Secondly, it should always be stated in behavioral terms, not global or general terms. You don't say, you're terrible, you're disgusting, you're horrible. You tell them exactly what they do, the behavior that upsets you, when you put me down, when you call me names, etc. Third, it is given to help both the listener and the speaker. So don't give constructive negative feedback only because it helps you. It should be designed to help you and the person who is important to you in your life to enhance your relationships. That's very important. Fourth, constructive negative feedback should be given when it relates to something that the person can change. You don't tell a person who's blind that it upsets you that he or she can't see. That's totally unnecessary. Fifth, it should be stated as a request, not as a demand. Say to them, I really would appreciate it if you would consider eliminating name-calling, eliminating sarcasm, eliminating put-downs. And finally, number 6, it should be given and stated in relative, not absolute terms. What this means is you say to your partner or to your colleague or to your friend, I don't know if you realize this, but sometimes you say things that really upset me, such as, you're an idiot, or you're a fool. Don't put it in absolute terms. Don't tell him or her that he or she does it all the time. That message will not be received well. I should also say that when you give someone constructive negative feedback, it's his or her responsibility to acknowledge that he heard the feedback. So it might be incumbent upon him or her or them to say, this is what I heard. You really don't like it when I call you unfavorable names. Okay, and then you come to an agreement, so you know that he or she understands the constructive negative feedback that you are sharing. Now, we urge you to practice and implementing the 6 conditions for giving constructive negative feedback. Share this information or the handout with your peers and partners and friends and spouses and adults and students and teachers, members of the family, colleagues, and the people you work with, and the people whom you team with if you're on a team. In our next episode, we will share another important 4th R skill. That will be giving and receiving constructive corrective feedback, CCF, constructive corrective feedback. Now, if you want a copy of this poster that we shared with you early in the broadcast, you can find it on my Facebook page. Okay, so we'll share that with you. Or you can contact me through email. Just send an email to me at my email address, rdsolomon, SOLOMON, PhD, @gmail.com. That's rdsolomon, PhD, @gmail.com. These videos can also be found on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Instagram. So may I thank you very much for viewing this series, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so very, very much.